You can bring your hands together at your heart center, closing your eyes. Just give your hands a little bit of a rub, feel some heat generation between them. And then inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling for Om. Keeping your eyes closed, just releasing your hands to your knees. Taking a full inhale and sighing the breath out as you exhale. And again. Final one, making it the biggest, the deepest. And then just allowing your breath to become natural. Either keeping your hands on your knees, or you can bring your left hand to your heart, right hand to your belly. Just noticing the sensations and the movements of your breath. And if you have your hands placed on your body, maybe just allowing this sensation to invite the feeling of the front of your body just sinking and relaxing towards your back. Just continuing to notice all the movements of every inhale and every exhale. Becoming aware of space, tension, front, back, sides, top and bottom of your body with every breath. If you haven't already, just releasing your hands to your knees. And slowly beginning to deepen your breath. And opening your eyes. And we're going to start lying down on our belly. Have your block somewhere to hand near the top of your mat, just for in a few moments' time. And when you come lying on your belly, just bring your arms folded across each other, just in front of your shoulders, so you can rest your forehead onto your arms. It's creating a very slight bend in the top of your chest. And then taking the legs as wide as feels comfortable for your body. If it's available for you, turn the feet outward, so the toes are pointing away from each other. If this is uncomfortable, you can have the toes pointing inward. So just find what suits you. This is Makrasana, our crocodile pose, but it's a really amazing breathing practice. So once you've found your comfortable position, feel as you inhale fully, the belly presses into the mat. And as you exhale, the belly softens, the lower back drops towards the ground. And use the inhale to really feel the sensation of pushing the belly down. This is really starting to strengthen the diaphragm. And as you exhale, just be aware of all of the changes in the body as the breath releases. Keeping the exhale smooth if you can, and allowing it again to be as long as feels comfortable. The diaphragm contains the vagus nerve. And when the diaphragm moves on the exhale after a full breath, it tells this nerve that everything is safe, that we can be calm. And this nerve controls whether our body is in a state of stress or relaxation. The breathing with the diaphragm, really allowing the belly to fill with air. One of the best ways to just reset, restore, and relax. We'll just stay here for a few more breaths. So see if you can make these last breaths the longest, the deepest that you've done so far. And then gently walking the legs back together. And you can release your arms to the sides of your body and just turn your head one way on your mat. Taking a few breaths with the neck turned either to the left or the right. We'll switch in a moment. And then turning your head the other way. Keep feeling the sensation, the contact between the belly and the floor as you breathe. Okay. And then take hold of your block and place it under your head. You can turn your head so that the right side of your face is resting on your block. And you want to bring your arms out into a T shape, so they're reaching out to the sides. I'm going to demonstrate this from in front as well, just in case you can't see so well here. We're coming into a shoulder stretch. So bend your left arm and just root it on the ground, root the hand on the ground. And using the push into this hand, you're going to roll your body back towards your right side. So the right arm is still staying open to the side, so you're rolling towards your back shoulder. And I'll just show you this from the front, so you can see that way too. So the right arm stays open, resting the right side of the face on the block, and you're rolling your body back towards your right arm. And if it feels very comfortable for you like this, you can take your top leg and bend the knee, allowing your foot to find the ground behind you. So that's just an option if you want to make it a little bit deeper. The more open your right arm is, the more away from the body it is, the deeper this will be. So if it's at a right angle. If it's too deep for you, you can always bring it a bit closer towards your body. Okay, and then rolling back onto your belly. And switching, so the left side of your face comes to the block. You may need to move the block around a little bit. Left arm reaches out to the side. And we're rolling back towards our left shoulder. And again, if it feels like you want to go a bit deeper, you can take your top leg, bending your knee, and letting your foot find the ground behind you. Or if you want to go softer, you can bring your arm closer to your body. And then making your way back to your belly. You can move the block out of the way. And bringing your elbows under your shoulders, engaging the abdomen to come into a sphinx. If your lower back feels any discomfort, take it lower and bring the elbows further forward. So just finding where it feels right for you. And really feel that the belly is engaged. This is how you're supporting your lower back. And you can always try and soften the glutes a little bit if they're engaged, and that might create a little bit more space for your lower back again. Feel the shoulder blades are trying to move down and together at the back of your body. So it's really, using the shoulders and at the same time opening into your chest, heart center. And then if it's comfortable for you, you can use an inhale looking forward, and on an exhale, turn your head to look one way, maybe pausing for a moment. And then using an exhale to turn and look over your other shoulder. Maybe doing this twice on each side. Pausing for as long as feels comfortable. Check that the belly is still engaged. And you can either at this point take a break and come out. You can stay in your Sphinx. If you're feeling quite open in the back, you can really engage the belly, push into the hands and straighten the arms for a few breaths to come into Cobra. Still feel the shoulder blades moving down and back. Belly still engaged. And then gently releasing down. You can bring your head to the floor and reach your arms out in front of you. We're going to do a few Savasana poses. So they are gentle back bends, and I'd always say to go to 80% effort with any of these. Focus mainly on keeping the belly engaged. So see it more as an exercise for the core. Your head can stay on the mat or it can rise a little bit, but just try and make sure there's no tension in your neck. So we're going to begin just by doing alternate arm and leg. So we're going to exhale and really squeeze the belly to the spine. As you inhale, lifting your right arm, left leg, and you're reaching away with the fingertips on the inhale and making sure that the belly is squeezed really tight on the exhale. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Releasing down. Exhale to squeeze the belly very tight. Inhale, left arm and right leg. One more breath, and then releasing. We'll do same arm, same leg. Using an exhale, squeeze the belly towards the spine. Inhale, the right side. Keep the belly squeezed. Focus on that engagement. Belly moving towards the spine. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. And releasing. Again, using your exhale to squeeze the belly. Inhale, left side. One more inhale, and then exhale to release. You can bring your arms back to that T shape, so the arms are reaching out to the sides, and place your fingertips onto the ground. I want you to imagine that you're wearing a pearl necklace. And so as we lift in this posture, you're trying to do it bead by bead as it comes off the ground. So you're really focusing on the engagement of the belly and having a lot of control and listening to your back as you move. So exhale, squeeze the belly. Inhale, bead by bead, lifting that necklace off the floor. You're raising your head, your neck, shoulders, and chest. And find a comfortable height. And you can stay with the fingertips on the floor, or you can lift the arms, fingertips extending to the sides. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. And releasing down. Bead by bead again. Taking a moment's rest on the ground. Again, feel the fingertips on the mat. You can keep the fingertips on the ground the whole time, or you can come up with the arms lifting as the head, shoulders, and chest lift as well for the second round. Exhale, belly squeezes. Inhale, coming up bead by bead, finding that control. Feel the belly engaged. Shoulders still move together. Finding the height that's about 80% for you. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. And then gently, bead by bead, releasing to the ground. And just make your way up into a tabletop for a moment. Let your back sit straight, just for a breath or two. And then you can make your way to sitting. And you can bring your right fingertips to the floor at your right side, extending your hand this way as much as feels comfortable, so it feels like there's a lengthening in the arm. The left hand comes to the opposite ear, letting your left ear drop towards your left shoulder. So you should feel this in the neck, maybe coming down into the arm. You may want to walk your fingertips a little bit further away for the space. And then releasing the weight of your hand, turning your head to look towards your left knee, thigh, or groin. And maybe placing the hand slightly further back behind your ear this time. So it moves into the back of your neck. And then releasing the weight, so you can turn your head to look towards the ceiling. Maybe letting your hand come to the front of your ear this time, so it moves a little more to the throat, collarbone. And then release the left fingertips to the floor. The right hand finds the opposite ear, right ear to right shoulder. Releasing the weight, turning your head to look towards your right knee, thigh, or groin. Hand comes slightly further back on the head. And then finally toward the ceiling. And releasing. Inhale the arms out to the sides. As we exhale, the right arm is going to come below the left as they cross, bending the elbows, bringing the hands together or the hand to the wrist in eagle arms. And feel the elbows lift as much as they can, so you really feel that space at the back of your shoulder blades. If you want, you may want to try dropping your right ear toward your right shoulder, and then the left ear toward the left shoulder. Just noticing if it feels different with the arms in this position. And then with the head upright, maybe with the upper middle back, just taking a couple of circles and then in the other direction. And releasing the arms out. Inhaling them back at the sides. This time, as you exhale, the left arm is below the right. Lifting the elbows again so you feel that space, the back of the shoulders, behind the heart. And maybe again, dropping the ear to the shoulder on one side and then the other. Perhaps noticing any differences where the left arm is below. And again, finding a couple of circles. Switching direction. And then coming to center. Releasing your arms, maybe give them a little bit of a shake. And we're going to bring our fingertips to the front of our shoulders, the thumbs to the back or the tops of the shoulders. And we're going to inhale as we turn to the left, exhale as we turn to the right. And start slowly and gently, inhaling left, exhaling right, Try to let the head move with the body. And after a couple of times, you may find you want to go a little bit deeper or a little bit faster. And after your next exhale to the right, you can just come to center, releasing the arms. Hands can come to the knees. Inhale, squeezing your shoulders as tight as you can towards your ears. Holding them at the top with the breath held in. And then exhale, letting everything melt down. Inhaling again, squeezing as high and tight as you can. Holding. And then exhale, melting down. Final time. And exhale. And just roll out your shoulders a few times, starting with the shoulders moving forward and down. And then switching the directions, the shoulders move down and back, feeling the shoulder blades, squeezing down and back with the movement. And then releasing. And we'll start with the hands on the shin in front. And we're going to just do a cat-cow, a spinal flex here. So as you inhale, you're bringing the spine into a little bit of an arch, coming forward. And as you exhale, rounding back. Inhaling to arch forward, exhaling to round. And then keeping the movement, just let your hands come to your knees. And just noticing if you feel it in different parts of the back. Inhale into a neutral position. And we'll make some circles. So hands on the knees, the more you can feel the arms are engaged, almost with the armpits hollowing, the more you'll get from this movement. You want to let the rib cage really lead. So you're inhaling to come around and forward. And you're exhaling as you send the whole of the rib cage and chest down, back and around. Giving your spine, the whole of your torso, a bit of a massage. And then switching the direction you're moving. And making your circles smaller and smaller until you find your way back at center. We're going to move into a pose called deer pose. And it might be something that you find easy to come into, and it might be something that's a little bit harder if your hips are not feeling very open. So I'm going to offer a few variations. You might want to use a block, or a cushion might even be more comfortable under your hips if you feel that there is some tightness in this area. So from your cross-legged or from a butterfly position, you're keeping the right leg forward, and you're letting the left leg come back. And this left leg can be as easy and soft as you want, or it can really come back if you want to take it deeper. If this feels difficult for you, or that the left hip is really high, then you may want to try coming into this sitting on something so your hips are a bit higher. Has everyone, maybe you can give me a thumbs up if you found a position that's comfortable for you here? Yeah? Okay, great. So just to begin with, it's a really nice one for freeing up the hips and also the sacroiliac joint at the back. We're just going to softly tuck and untuck the tailbone. And especially if you're sitting on something, you may want to bring your fingers to the floor just to allow you to have a little bit less weight in the hips to aid the movement. So just swaying backwards and forwards a few times until you feel that the hips have softened a little bit. Okay. And then hands coming to the knees. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, you're turning to the left side to come into a gentle twist. Inhale, center. Exhale to the right. So just doing this a few times, inhale into the center, exhaling left, inhaling center, exhaling right. And then when you come to the left side again, just pause, looking over your left shoulder. Take an inhale, so you're really long in the spine, and then exhale, maybe drawing the belly and ribs in, and seeing if there's a little more room to twist here. So you should be looking in the direction where your foot is pointing back behind you. And then on your next inhale, coming to the center. And then exhale to the right. So there's no leg behind you on this side. Again, take an inhale and lengthen in the spine. Exhale, drawing the belly and ribs in. And you may feel that this is opening into the inner and front of your left hip. Try and feel that the left sit bone is still releasing and softening towards the ground. Now your right hand is going to plant on the mat. So you may want to bring it more in line with your hip. And you can reach the left arm into the air up past your ear. So you're just opening this left line of the body. And this may be enough for you. If you want, there is a challenge option if you feel like going deeper. And if you do, you can root into your grounded hand and your front shin. And you may want to try peeling the hips off the ground. It's up to you. You can just stay in a side stretch. You may want to try making it more active. And then releasing your hips back to the floor if you are lifted. Exhale back to a neutral position. And just let yourself gently come out of deer pose on this side. And find your way into it on the opposite side, so with the right foot pointing back this time. And again, we're just going to begin by tilting the tailbone backwards and forwards to start opening into the hips, creating a bit of balance in the sacroiliac joint, the back where your spine and your hips meet. You can have the hands or the fingertips on the ground if this helps create a bit more ease in the movement. And then inhaling in the center. Exhale, lifting of your right shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. To the right. And the left. And then the next time you come to your right side, just pausing here for a few breaths. Take an inhale, lengthening from sit bones to crown. Exhale, drawing in the belly and the ribs, and maybe finding a little bit more space to twist. Inhaling back to the center. And then on your exhale, coming to the left. Again, using your inhale to lengthen. Exhale, drawing in, looking to the left. Again, you may feel this opening in the front of the right hip as you look over this way. Still feel the right sit bone is trying to melt and ease toward the ground. And then if you want, you can plant the hand on the ground, maybe bringing it a little bit more in line with your hip. Reaching the right arm into the air. So you have a side stretch here. And as with the other side, it may be enough to stay in the side stretch, feeling openness. Or you have the option to root into your front shin and your left hand and peel the hips off the ground. And if you are raised, just releasing back down, releasing the arms, coming to center. And just bring your legs out in front of you. Maybe give them a little bit of a shake out. And we'll make our way to hands and knees. And just beginning a cat-cow motion here. So as you inhale, looking forward, arching the spine. Exhale, rounding the back, chin to the chest. And moving at the rhythm that suits you. You may want to go really slow today. You may want to go a bit more fast. Inhale to a neutral position. And you can drop the forearms to the ground. And continue the same movement, just working with the back and shoulders in a different way. Try and feel that the fingertips have contact with the mat, so they're not completely passive. Imagining your fingers are like those of geckos, creating a slight suction against the mat. And then on your next inhale, just coming back to all fours, neutral position. Taking a breath here, and then we're going to inhale our right arm into the air. And as you exhale, thread it between your left hand and left knee, allowing your right shoulder to drop to the mat. And you can just rest the side of your head, side of your face onto the ground, letting the weight sink into your right shoulder. And then if you want, again, to make it deeper, you can lift the left arm into the air, maybe letting the arm drop behind you, or bringing the arm folded so it lays on the lower back, or perhaps wraps around your right hip. Inhaling the left arm back into the air. You can exhale, planting it on the ground, and just making your way back to your tabletop. This time, inhaling the left arm up. And as you exhale, threading it through on the right side, allowing your shoulder to drop to the mat. Letting the weight sink into your left shoulder. Just resting the side of your head and face on the ground. Option to bring the right arm into the air, letting it fall back, rest on the lower back, or wrap around your body. Inhaling the right arm up and using your exhale to come back to all fours, and maybe just taking a little bit of freestyle movement to ease up the shoulders, the back, if you need to. And you can keep doing this for a while if you want, or you can come into downward dog straight away, finding the right positioning for your hands. Feel the fingertips like the gecko, pushing into the ground, allowing the center of your palm to move if it wants to. Tucking the toes under, shifting your weight back towards your heels, and then lifting the hips into the air. And once you're in your downward facing dog, just have a walk out, any movements that feel like they create space. Making sure your head, your neck, your jaw are soft, maybe giving it a shake. And then beginning to walk your feet forward. So you arrive with your feet behind your hands, bend in your knees, feeling the belly contact the thighs, and then letting the back of your knees yawn open as much as you can without losing the contact between the stomach and the thighs. Holding opposite elbows or with your hands on the ground, whichever you prefer. Really allowing your head, neck, jaw, shoulders and arms to hang heavy, as though you could tumble forward into the ground. And then on your next exhale, releasing your hands to the ground and using an inhale to come up to standing, exhaling to release. And find a standing position with your feet hip width apart. Just start connecting in with the feet, feeling the toes have a bit of a wiggle. Sides of the feet, the balls, the feet, the heels, really feeling them alive on the mat. We're going to come into some balances because I know there was a request for that. So we'll start by coming into a tree and rooting into the left foot. We're going to have a little bit of a variation here. So coming into a regular position, you can have your foot, the knee turns out, the toes can rest on the ground if you need. The foot can come to the calf, or it can come to the inner thigh. And wherever you have your foot, make sure it's not on the knee. It doesn't like having this pressure against it. So either above or below the knee. Feel the contact between your foot and your leg. So there is an engagement between them, which is just allowing the leg and the core to become active. You can bring your hands to your heart center for a moment. And then there's the option, if you feel stable, to bring your right arm above, letting the hand come back between the shoulder blades. And you can bring your left hand on top, just coming into a shoulder stretch here. If you know you can do full Gomukhasana arms, you can bring your left hand behind and clasp the fingers at the back. Just taking a couple more breaths. And then releasing the arms back to the heart. Releasing your right leg. Rooting the right foot on the ground. If it needs, the left leg might need a bit of a shake. You can give it a shake if you need to. Root into the right foot. Feel it active, feel it alive. Finding the position for your left leg. So either toes on the ground, on the calf, or finding the inner thigh. Feel the engagement between your foot and your leg, allowing the leg and core to switch on. Hands come to the heart center. Find a fixed point to look at to help you balance. And then if you feel stable, option to reach the left arm up, bending the elbow so it comes between the shoulder blades. And you can let the right hand add a bit of weight, or you can come into Gomukhasana arms. And then bringing the hands back to the heart center. Releasing the left foot. Again, maybe having a bit of a shake. And then we're going to do eagle pose. So if you have sensitivity in your knees, don't sit too deep here. You can keep the legs quite straight. If your knees feel comfortable, then push into the heel and you can sit as deep as feels okay for you. So to begin with, we're going to root into the left foot, and then you're going to cross your right leg over, and you can just rest the toes on the ground to start off with. And from here, you can take a seat as deep as feels comfortable, especially focusing on the heel, pushing into the ground. And then either lifting the foot, keeping it on the ground, or wrapping it around the back of the calf. Feel the foot is flexed, so it's helping create that engagement. We have the right leg on top, so the right arm is going to come underneath if you come into the arms. Palms together. Feel the lift in the elbows, and if you want, you can sit a little bit deeper. And then using an inhale, opening out like the wings and releasing. Maybe give your legs a shake. Rooting into the right foot, feeling it strong. Left leg crosses over. Starting with the toes on the ground, find your seat to the point that's comfortable for you. Heel rooting in, so the glute is really active. And then you can lift and flex the foot, or wrap it around if you want to. This time the left arm is below the right. Lifting in the elbows. Option to sit a little bit deeper if you'd like. And then inhaling and opening outward, exhaling to release. And just have a bit of a shake again. And you can make your way to the front of your mat. And feel your feet hip width apart. Just begin noticing the slight shift into the balls and the toes on the inhale. The slight sinking back into the heels on the exhale. And then on your next inhale, feeling that shift forward, reaching your arms into the air. Exhale, bend the knees as you fold to the ground. Inhale, looking forward, hands on the shins. And then as you exhale, we're going to step the right foot back and come into a high lunge. So just taking care of your knee if it's sensitive, don't make the bend too deep. Check that the hips are facing forward. You can have the back leg a little bit bent if you want to make it more muscle engagement, or you can straighten it away if you want to focus more on the flexibility. Make sure that your front knee isn't to the inside or outside of your ankle, and you can still see your big toe. And then we're going to bring our hands to our heart center. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, we're pushing the arms away. Inhale like you're swimming the arms backwards, bending the elbows, opening the chest. Exhale, hands to the heart, coming forward. Inhale, swimming the arms back, opening the chest. Just doing this a few times. And then on your next inhale, stay back. Exhale, turning the hands so the palms face backward and bringing the arms to the back of your body. If it's within reach, bringing the fingertips together so you're coming into a prayer position at the back. It doesn't matter if the palms of your hands don't touch, you're just focusing on the feeling of opening in the chest. And taking an inhale, feeling the chest open and lift a little more. Use your exhale to focus on the feet on the ground. And then on your next exhale, releasing the hands. You can let them find the ground, stepping your foot back and dropping your knees. Making your way down to the mat, inhaling, belly engaged, finding your sphinx. And just taking a pause here, a few breaths, shoulder blades squeezing back. And then using an exhale to find downward facing dog. And then on your next exhale, leading with your right foot, making your way forward. Inhale, straight spine looking forward. Exhale, bending the knees, folding. And inhale, coming up to standing, slight shift into the toes. Exhale to release. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, folding. Inhale, looking forward. Exhale, this time the left foot steps back, coming into our high lunge. Checking in with your front knee, that it's not to the inside or the outside of the ankle. Hips face forward. Make sure you can still see your big toe. You can bring your hands to the heart center. Taking an inhale. Exhale, moving forward. Inhale, swimming back. Exhaling together and forward. Inhaling back. On your next inhale, staying back. Exhale, turning the palms to face backwards. Bringing the hands behind the back. Finding your prayer pose. Inhale as the chest lifts. It doesn't matter if the palms aren't together, maybe it's just the fingertips. Focusing on the feeling in the chest in the inhale. The push into the ground through your feet on the exhale. Final inhale. Exhale, releasing the hands. Finding the mat. Stepping back and dropping your knees. Coming down to the ground. Using an inhale to find Sphinx with the belly engaged. Or you may want to take Cobra. Using an exhale, finding downward facing dog. Maybe walking out here, maybe finding stillness. And then at the end of your next exhale, leading with your left foot, making your way forward. Inhaling, looking forward. Exhaling to fold. Inhaling to find standing. Exhaling to release. Inhaling your arms into the air. Exhale, folding. Inhale, looking forward. Exhale, right leg steps back, dropping your right knee. So we're coming into low lunge, finding the right distance between your foot and your knee to suit your body. Feeling the hips shifting forward for where's comfortable for you. Really rooting into your front foot and the back knee, top of the back foot. You can inhale your arms into the air. Feel the shoulders dropping from the ears, even though you're reaching into your fingertips. And then you can just take some gentle side stretches here with the arms reaching up. Inhaling in the center. Exhale, hands find the mat. And just walk your left foot to the edge of the mat. So your hands are to the inside of your foot. So we've got lizard pose. Maybe take a moment to find a little bit of space in the hips with your left foot wide. And then root into your right hand. And you can inhale the left arm into the air, finding a twist. And if it's comfortable, just make some circles with your left arm. Switching direction. And then releasing your left hand to the ground. You can step your left knee back, making your way to the mat, inhaling for your Sphinx or your Cobra. Belly is engaged. And then using an exhale to find your downward facing dog. And at the end of your next exhale, leading with your right foot, stepping forward. Inhale, straight spine. Exhale, folding. Inhaling to come to standing. Exhaling to release. Final one. Inhaling your arms into the air. Exhale, folding. Inhale, looking forward. Exhale, left leg steps back, dropping your left knee. Finding your low lunge, so you can adjust the distance if you need to. Letting the hips shift forward, creating openness to your point of comfort. Exhale and really feel the weight shift into your foot, your knee, rooting into the ground. Inhale, arms come into the air. And again, you can just find some side stretches here, letting the shoulders melt down from the ears as the fingertips reach up. Final inhale, reaching tall. Exhale, hands come low. Walk your right foot out to the edge of your mat, so your hands come to the inside in lizard. Maybe taking a moment here to soften in the hips. And then rooting into your left hand, we're going to inhale the right arm into the air in our twist. Again, finding circles with your arm, opening into the shoulder, fascia at the back. And switching direction. And on an exhale, releasing your hand down, stepping your right knee back, making your way down to the ground for a final back bend of your choice. Using an exhale to come into a final downward facing dog. Or if you've had enough downward facing dog, you are welcome to come straight to a tabletop or a child's pose. On an exhale, dropping your knees, sinking back to child's pose just for a few breaths. And then we're going to make our way to lie on our back, feet on the floor and knees bent. But you want to be quite near the bottom of your mat. And you're going to need your tennis balls and your block. So we're going to use these a little bit in the shoulders and the back. And I'm going to offer some variations. You may find for your body you want to make it softer or deeper, and you may not want to do it for as long in each place. So really listen, and if you want to have a break or just do it differently, that's also fine. We're going to begin with both tennis balls, and they're going to start just under the top of our shoulders. So you're just putting them right at the very top of your back, on either side of your spine. So they're not right next to the spine, but they're pretty close to it. In this position, you may feel that this is enough just to have the balls like this. If you want to go deeper, you have the option to lift your hips off the ground like you're coming into bridge pose. And you may want to stay like this, or you could bring your block under your hips if you want to make it a little bit softer. But it's just pushing a little bit more weight towards your shoulders. Just staying for a few more breaths. If you're using the block, just slide it out of the way so you can release your hips to the ground. And you're going to walk your back a little bit back. So using the feet, you're just rolling over the balls so they move a few centimeters lower under your back. And again, just listen. It might be enough to have them just with the weight of your chest on top. Or you may again want to lift the hips, maybe placing them on a block if you want to take it a bit deeper. And if it's too much, you may only want to do it for a few seconds and then release them. If you are using a block, just sliding it out of the way. And again, rolling yourself a little bit higher on your mat so the blocks come down. And if they feel like they've moved too far away from your spine, just adjusting them a little. You don't want them under the scapula, you want them to be either side of the spine. If you're starting to reach the middle of your back, you may want to try crossing your arms over your body like you're giving yourself a hug. And if you are doing that, then try one way and make sure you take a couple of breaths with the other arm on top. The lower down your back you get, the less comfortable it is to raise the hips. So you may want to just have the weight of your back as you roll a little bit further down. Just taking a few breaths in the next spot. and rolling a little bit lower. If you reach the part of your back where it's quite soft, just take the balls away for a moment and wait for us to catch up. So if you have gone a bit further down, you don't want to go to where the back is below the rib cage. So we should all be somewhere in the middle back, and at this point you can take the balls away. So maybe you're just lifting a little bit to remove them. And we're going to move to the lower back at this point. And here you'll find you have a little bit more freedom. So you're going down near where the hips are. It can be towards the buttocks. It can be just to the inside of the hip bones. And you can have a little bit of an experiment here. The balls can come a bit wider down in the lower back. They can also come a bit closer towards the spine. And you can sway a little bit the weight from your right foot to your left foot to move the balls around and try different spots. You may want to shift your weight backwards and forwards a little bit to create a slight rocking. And when you're using the balls, try not to stay anywhere for too long. So maybe just a breath or two, and then just move them to a slightly different position. We'll just do a few more breaths in this area. So you may want to try going a bit lower again towards the base, the spine, around the buttocks. You may want to keep working in different areas. Just listen to what you need. And then releasing the balls out. Just take a moment with your back on the mat. Just noticing how it feels. And then take hold of your block. And we're going to bring the block under our neck so that the base of the block is lower than the base of the skull. And you can just press very gently the head into the block and turn it a little bit from side to side, giving the base of the skull a little bit of a massage. And take hold of one tennis ball. You may find that it's enough just to have the block under your neck. If you want to try, you can lift your head up and place the ball just under the base of your skull, so it's on the block and just at the very top of your neck, so your chin is slightly tucked in to your chest. And just stay still here for a couple of breaths. As I said, there is the option just to use the block. But this can be quite nice, especially if you have to sit a lot during the day or you're looking at screens. It's a really nice release for the neck. And then you have the option, you may need to hold the ball with your left hand, just to turn your head very slightly to the right. Still keeping it still. Just to feel the pressure in a slightly different spot. And then you can try turning your head very softly to the left. And then bringing the ball back to the middle. You may want to stay still, you may want to remove it at this point, or you have the option to very gently maybe find a circle motion, or a side to side, or a figure eight. And then you have the option again to release the ball at this point, or you can walk it a tiny bit lower, and you'll find the chin rises slightly from the chest. If it comes too low, it won't feel comfortable. So you'll know if it's right for you or not. But it's just releasing into a slightly different part of the neck. And then again here, you may want to turn it very softly to the right. Turn your head very softly to the right. And very softly to the left. And then coming back to center. And again, there is the option to have a very gentle sway or a circle. It's a slightly more tender part of the neck, so you might have had enough at this point. Just have a listen and see if it feels good to stay a little bit longer. And then releasing the ball if you still have it, and removing the block. Just letting your head rest onto the mat. And feeling the whole of your back, your neck, your head resting on the ground. So you can keep your knees bent, or you can straighten out the legs. Just feeling if there's any differences, any more openness, any more length in any of these areas. And from here, you have the option to take a twist if you'd like, or just to move straight to your Shavasana, your relaxation. You may not want to move at this point, you might want to just let the back stay flat, or you may feel that you need a final twist or a happy baby. And then making your way towards Shavasana, if you haven't already. Closing your eyes. Allowing your breath to become completely natural. Taking a moment to soften your forehead, your eyebrows, your eyes, and your jaw. Allowing yourself to be fully supported by the ground beneath you. Feeling yourself soften a little deeper with every breath. softening deeper and deeper with each exhale. Now is the time to choose your intention. Choose a short, positive statement for yourself, allowing it to be in the present tense. It is already happening. Mentally repeat your intention 3 times now. I'm going to take you on a journey around your body. And as I name each part of your body, simply let your attention fall to that part. Thumb of your right hand, right index finger, middle finger, ring finger, your right little finger, the palm of your hand, and the back of your hand, your right wrist, lower arm, and your elbow. Your right upper arm and shoulder, the right side of your waist, and the right of your hip and your pelvis. The top of your thigh and the back of your thigh. Your right knee, shin, and your calf. Your right ankle, the top of your foot, and the sole of your foot. Right little toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe. Your right big toe. The whole of the right side of your body. The whole of the right side of your body. Thumb of your left hand. Left index finger. Middle finger. Ring finger. Your left little finger. The palm of your hand. And the back of your left hand. Your wrist, lower arm, your left elbow, and your upper arm, your shoulder, the left side of your waist, and the left of your hip and your pelvis. The top of your thigh and the back of your thigh, your left knee, shin, and your calf, your ankle, the top of your foot, and the sole of your left foot, left little toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, your left big toe, the whole of the left side of your body, the whole of the left side of your body, the top of your head, your forehead, right temple, and your left temple, right eyebrow, left eyebrow, your right eye, and your left eye, the space behind your eyes, right ear, left ear, your right cheek, and your left cheek, your nose, upper lip, lower lip, and the space between your lips, the inside of your mouth and your tongue, your chin and your jaw, front of your throat, the right side of your chest, the left side of your chest, your rib cage, stomach, and your abdomen, the whole of the front of your body, the whole of the front of your body, the back of your head, back of your neck, the back of your right shoulder, and the back of your left shoulder. The space between your shoulders, the middle of your back, your lower back, the whole length of your spine, your right buttock and your left buttock, the whole of the back of your body, the whole of the back of your body, your whole body, your whole body, your whole body. Now is the time to repeat your intention. Mentally repeat your intention 3 times now. Visualize yourself lying on your mat. See yourself lying on your mat. Picture the objects in the room around you, the walls, ceiling, and the floor. See yourself lying on your mat, on the floor, in this room. Begin to deepen your breath. Make some small movements of your fingers and your toes. Circles of your ankles and your wrists in both directions. On an inhale, you can yawn your arms above your head, stretching from the tips of your fingers to the bottoms of your toes. And then walking your feet towards your body, drawing your knees into your chest, giving them a hug. Taking a moment to send yourself, send your body some love, some gratitude. And then dropping onto your right side. And if you can, keeping your eyes closed as you make your way back to a seated position. Just bringing your hands together at your heart center and giving them a rub. Allowing the heat to generate between your palms. And then placing your warm palms over your eyes, allowing this heat to sink deep back into them. Bringing your hands back together at your heart. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling for Aum. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you so much.